We have a real-time attempt of Stockfish levels 1 through 5. These bots, or this bot, is accessible to anyone and everybody who simply has the ability to play on Lichess. I believe my understanding of reality is more or less shattered, and I have lost my mind and now inhabit a delusion. As anybody who watches my stream on a regular basis would know, I know that's not a lot of people. Probably a lot of people are put off by my delusions, but I decided that I would go for a record attempt, as long as I was sort of humoring this delusion that I have, that I'm shadow banned by chess.com, or whatever kind of term you want to use. My account is restricted. It's not. My account isn't restricted, but I noticed that on chess.com my rating seems to stay at about 1200, whereas on Lichess I get matched up against titled players and often win those games. So I've beaten, according to Lichess, my account has no restrictions, and I have in fact beaten 2 FIDE masters, an international master, a candidate master, a national master, and a women's FIDE master. And that is Stockfish level 1. So now we'll go on to Stockfish level 2. Since I came to believe, because I had a hard time reconciling how am I playing and beating titled players, or in other words, how am I beating professional players on Lichess, and yet on chess.com my rating corresponds to that of a beginner. And so I came up with this delusion that I'm just shadow banned. But thankfully there are a lot of people on the internet who are incredibly kind and incredibly forgiving, and they have seen that I am having these delusions, and they've informed me, no, you actually are beating professional players, but your rating is 1200 on chess.com. And so I was so terrified by how vivid my imaginations and hallucinations had become, that I thought that it would be best if I just play Stockfish from now on. I don't think I should be allowed to play chess, either in real life or on the internet. Probably shouldn't be allowed to play chess at all. And that's Stockfish level 2. So now in my hallucination, I'm going on to Stockfish level 3. So I typically play a mixture of the kind of a Zukertort, Kali system, pseudo-Catalan. These structures are well known, classical chess theory. As with the black pieces, I play a mix of hyper-modern openings and modern openings. Anything from the Alekhine defense as a hyper-modern opening to the King's Indian defense, or often the sort of a variation of the Pirc. So the Pirc is spelled P-I-R-C, like perk, for anybody who is going to check like the master's database to see if these are real things or if they are part of my delusion. Let me know in the comment section. I would be fascinated to know if I have just perhaps I'm not saying words at all. I might just be babbling incoherent nonsense. Kind of similar to the film Beautiful Mind. Now, if he moves the knight, then I'll have that check on h7 with the queen, but not moving the knight allows for this checkmate in 2. I find it, and that's Stockfish 3. I'm sorry, my Thorazine is kicking in. So soon I will either be doing the shuffle or the electric slide, depending on whether or not I am able to break into the... I'm in an institution now, and they have a facility that I'm not allowed to go into, which I imagine contains many thrilling things that I will probably improperly consume because I believe that they are food. And I'm going to just expand on the queen side. Now, it doesn't look like there's a lot to do. It's not super easy to game plan around black here, which is the reason that I take that bishop. Now, a totally random blunder by Stockfish enables me to blockade the e-pawn, to save the bishop, which is kind of the heart of my position. And, okay, a couple minor blunders there, but all said and done, not too bad. Now, just a bit of a mistake coming up here, although got to hand it to Stockfish. This is a nice one. Uncovered check, so I'm being double checked. And now temporary queen sacrifice, rook takes on g8, and then rook check on h7, rook checkmate on h7. Lovely. Well done by the fish stock, the Stockfish. Call him whatever you want, but just because he's a fish, you can't call him dinner. He's more likely to eat you, especially when you are imagining that he is a person or several people who are conspiring against you for no real rhyme or reason, just sort of on a whim came up with that delusion. Now, I blundered quite badly there. I have to remember this kind of position because in an over-the-board game, I believe I had an opportunity to basically get into almost this exact same position, and I missed it. So just going to remember that. Now I blundered here again. I need to play rook b2, but I have no idea. I don't really know what happened here. It's not good. I forced the queen trade. I think that was probably good, but now this is almost inexplicably bad. I probably should have just played rook b1 there. It's hard to say what I should have done differently. So I'm going for this checkmate. I just have this dream where his knight for some reason moves to some square, and I would have had checkmate. But yeah, this is Stockfish level 4. The estimated elo I think is 1700 USCF, I think, or maybe 1700 FIDE. I don't think the estimated elo is 1700 lead chess, but it might be. Now he blundered, then I blundered, and then he blundered, and then I blundered. So this is actually a very frustrating game to watch. I'm going to leave it in just because I'm sure the whole thing should be done unedited, in my opinion, which is frankly somewhat worthless, as everything that I'm saying is incoherent and I'm suffering from delusions. Now I'm going for this ability to check on e6, coordinating the bishop and the rook, but he moves the king out of the way. So nicely done by Mr. or Mrs. Fish. And that was actually probably by far the best move, a winning move. I didn't know what to play here, and that probably lost me the game right there. Once again, my opinion is completely worthless because of my admitted delusions. But if I were to pretend for a moment that anything I said had any meaning at all outside of this sort of primitive inner monologue that I have, which is mostly just screams. What was I saying? I don't remember. I was going to say that I think that if anybody else goes for this record, and I think they should, it's my opinion. I'm not going to provide any commentary here. This is just unfortunate. I think that a Stockfish 1 through 5 run could realistically be done. Could realistically be done in maybe half the time that I spent here. I think you could probably get a 15-minute run. Or I'm sorry, wait, could you get a 10-minute run? Maybe. And I also think that Stockfish level 1 through 6 would be, I think it's viable. I think that Stockfish 1 through 7 is, as far as I know, at this time, it's not viable because I'm not. I actually don't know. I don't know of anybody who's actually beaten Stockfish level 6 in a Blitz game other than myself. But I haven't really gone looking to see if anybody has. The footage of me beating Stockfish level 6 in a Blitz game is available on this very YouTube page. At least it's visible to me on this YouTube page. It might not be to other people, since if a small but dedicated number of people have been trolling me for about 3 years since the last time that I acknowledged that they existed. So if you've ever heard the old adage, don't feed the trolls, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. They will spend years of their life, at least peripherally, wasting their time because they are confused and erroneously believe you to be a cowboy. They erroneously will believe you to be a cowboy. That actually happened. Truth is sometimes stranger than fiction, and the people who troll me in general don't know what fiction is. They think everything they see is real life. So now his bishop is defending that pawn, or I would have just been able to take it and exploit the pin. Unfortunate. Now, I really wanted to check here, but it sure does look like I would be getting my knight trapped. So I did that. I said, oh no, I blundered, but I didn't, because I can pin the knight, and if he moves the king out of the way, he undefends the knight. So I win the piece back, and now I have got a Stockfish level 4 in my sights, kind of like the old man in the sea, if the old man had been delusional. Although the old man was delusional, I believe, and there was no sea. That was the ending. It was much like the ending to the film Fight Club. Brad Pitt was not real, or perhaps Edward Norton was the one who was not real. I don't remember. I believe it was Brad Pitt. And I just gave away the ending to the film Fight Club. Brad Pitt is not real in the film. Brad Pitt is not real in the film. Now, it's actually a lot easier than it looks like to get checkmated in this situation. It is imperative that I protect the G6 pawn. Now he has to take back that away, luckily, so he did not have any intermezzo opportunities, and it is going to be just about a done deal. He is very close to being able to checkmate me, but I took stock of my surroundings. I started to scream. I ate something that definitely wasn't food, and now I just move up, got to get over and out of the way to defend that G-pawn. He could have taken for a move, yeah? I'm sure it was losing. I'm sure taking the pawn there was losing. Now he has no choice but to allow the queen to come into the game, and as long as I do not somehow allow my time to run out, which I almost did actually, I will get the W here. Was there a check there? I'm sure there was, but if he had checked me, I would have moved out of the way, and then it would have been an uncovered check. So that was set up nicely. Now I had checkmate at least once, if not twice, but 3 times the lady. That's a checkmate, and on to Stockfish level 5. So this entire run, somebody was streaming something that was called the Mustache Show. I don't approve of that. Is that related to... I don't know. I don't know what that was. Well, my name is Oli Chrono Mustachiola, but it's actually, that's not actually my last name. My last name is just Stache. So okay, I've kind of trailed off, although the Thorazine is full force right now. Probably should have taken back with the knight there, although a little bit tough to say. Now I will both simultaneously move the knight to a better square and defend the e pawn. Nice move. Now I want to prevent him from being able to push with the minority attack down there. Although I have not gotten too much into theory, since everything I say is a delusion, I figured it wouldn't be too useful. And funnily enough, both games that or at least, I don't remember if I won the other game where Stockfish just didn't recapture my Darksword Bishop, but that's happened twice in this run. Okay, now he's pinned, so he has to either take or allow me to take. So he allows me to take. Now I could have played Rook A to E8 because the pawn would have been pinned at least for a move, but I went ahead with this, and now some nice piece coordination here. I had been playing for a while, and I am living in a constant state of fabrication. The reality, the constructs of reality that I believe to know are not real. They're simply not real. And the point to be made there is that nothing that I say should be taken at face value. It should all be taken with the knowledge that I am delusional. So now he can't take back, or he couldn't take with the knight in that situation, and there are no bank rake mate problems, so I'm able to sneak out of the way. Now put that check in, and now there are many roads that lead to Rome, and I began traveling towards Rome right about now. Rome is that way. Yeah, Rome is that way. Rome is that way. Now, I believed that the bishop was defending that pawn for some reason. I guess that's part of the trick that, you know, that Dunning-Kruger does to the mind. I don't know if I specifically mentioned that I was suffering from Dunning-Kruger syndrome, but that is what I am suffering from. Now I think this might be checkmate, rook to d4. Was that checkmate? It might have been, and if not, it was probably like a checkmate in 2. I haven't really reviewed these games, as most of them are, or all of them maybe, are happening in a delusion. So now I have the ability to checkmate once again, queen d8 checkmate, and I miss it. And now one tricky thing about Stockfish is that it always finds some way to prolong the game in a very annoying way. But it's all out of tricks now. The queens are connected. They're coming down. That's a ladder checkmate. 19 minutes, 59 seconds. World record. Cheers.